What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video, and today I'm going to compare two more fishing rods that came out with the recent update. But before I begin, I want to talk about how I got the Ice Warper's rod, and if you guys are not familiar with that fishing rod, you do have to do a puzzle to unlock it. I'm going to put the coordinates on the screen that I use to unlock the fishing rod because you do got to pull like 6 levers, and the way you see them on the screen, I did them in order, and make sure the 6th lever you pull has to be the last one. And I'm not really sure what would happen if you pulled the last one too early. I would assume it resets all levers. So if you want to avoid the reset, make sure you pull the last lever last. And this one you could do solo. You just have to pull all the levers, go back to the center, and buy that fishing rod. And a lot of people have been complaining about the puzzles in the new update, and I would assume they just don't like doing puzzles. So if you are somebody who does not like puzzles, you can watch this video and decide if you want to get the fishing rod or not. And like I said in the beginning, I'm going to be comparing two fishing rods. And the first one is the Ice Warper's rod, and the second one is going to be the Summit rod. And what I'm going to do with both rods at the end of the video, you're going to see how much money you can make with both of them. Now going back to the fishing rods, the Ice Warper rod, it does have some nice stats. It has a alert speed of 50%, a luck of 60%, a control of 0.15, a resilience of 20%, and a max weight 75,000 kilograms. And I believe it does not have a passive, but in the description it says a frosting rod with glowing blue accents and icy particle effects. Now like I said in the beginning, you do have to do a puzzle to unlock this, and on top of that you do got to spend $65,000. So if you really think about it, it is a very cheap fishing rod, but getting the puzzles and getting to the top of the mountain, it could be kind of difficult. And now for the Summer rod, it does have a lot of controversy, and for a good reason too. And let me remind you before I read the stats to you, this Summer rod is considered an endgame rod. The Summer rod has a alert speed of 15%, a luck of 75%, a control of 0.25, a resilience of 15%, and a max weight of 200,000 kilograms. Now when it comes to buying the fishing rod, anybody could buy it as long as you have $300,000. And if you read the description of the Summit rod, a refined rod with snow white highlights and shimmering blue effects. So also this fishing rod does not have a passive effect, which I'm pretty sure every single fishing rod from the new update does not have a passive effect. And looking at the design of the Summit rod, I actually like how these fishing rods look, but I have one question about this game. Am I the only one that thinks every single fishing rod or every single thing in the game is too bright? Like I feel like sometimes the sun just blinds me. It's like a massive flashbang. Like look at it, I don't want to go to the sun. Yeah, I'm not going. That is so bright. That's why when I play this game, I like to be in the dark. I literally buy sundial totems to turn at nighttime so I can see the fishing rods better. I just think the game looks better in general at night. You see, that is much better, and the fishing rod looks way better at night. So like I said before, I do like the design on it. The crystals look really nice. Look how sparkly they are. Now looking at the Ice Warper's rod, let's see how it looks like. In the Ice Warper's rod, it looks nice as well, but one thing I noticed, they do have the same blue crystals, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me go check. Where is the Summit rod? Yeah, it does have the same crystals, but on the Summit rod, these are sparkling. I guess you can see the Ice Warper rod is more basic. It just has different glows, and I just noticed it has little stars on it. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go enchant both of them with the same enchantment. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna use Storming or Hasty, because what I like to do for both of them is either give them instant catch or a lot of luck. Now obviously if you use Mutated or Abyssal, you're gonna make way more money, but I like to see how much money they can make at the lowest point. So for example, if a fishing rod can make $300,000 at its lowest point, that means with all the luck boosts and the better enchantments, you can make way more money. So if it is making like $300,000, it can make over $400,000 with all the boosts. Because if I use Hasty on the Ice Warper's rod, it will give us instant catch. But if I use Hasty on the Summit rod, it won't. Because of the alert speed, it'll go from 15% all the way up to 70%. Now if you look at Rapid Catcher, it will give us a alert speed of 35% and resilience to minus 15%. So yes, with Rapid Catcher and Hasty, it will give us instant catch on the Summit rod. But at the same time, our resilience will go to 15% to 0, and that's not really a good thing. However, the control bar is a 0.25 and it is a massive bar. And I'm pretty sure the control on the Summit rod is larger than the other endgame rods. Like look at the Heavens rod, a 0.2, so it is bigger than that one. Look at the No Life rod, a 0.23, it's bigger than that one. And with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, 0.22, so it's bigger than that one as well. So as you can see, that's why people think it's an endgame rod. So I do have 554 enchant relics. Yesterday I lost like 100. Nah, I'm pretty sure it was way over 100. That's a lot of money I lost. Hey look, I got controlled increased rod control bar size. Could you imagine how big that bar is gonna be? The Summer rod has a 0.25 control bar. With control, that bar is gonna be massive. So finally I got Hasty on the Summer rod. It only took me 14 enchant relics, and 14 is not that bad, but if you think about it, 140k, that is a lot of money. You know what, in total I basically spent $500,000 on this fishing rod, and now we have to get Hasty on the Ice Warper's rod. Okay, finally got Hasty on the Ice Warper's rod, and it only took me 50 enchant relics. looks nice. Yeah, later on I gotta go farm some more because I'm really running out of them. So now I have hasty on both fishy rods, and what I'm gonna do right now is go make some money so you guys can see how much money you can make with both fishy rods. And the place I'm gonna go to is the depths, and the main reason I'm gonna go to the depths because you can make the most money there in the game. There is one more place that can make more money than the depths, and that place came out with the recent update, with the recent expansion, but I'm still testing it out to make sure it could make more money. And you know what, I think it's time to have more money making methods, because going to the depths every single time for me gets boring. Like sometimes what I like to do is I like to go to the ancient isle and farm at the waterfall because the depths just gets boring for me sometimes. Yo, we just spawned the megalodon. Actually, you know what, I think I'm gonna go try to catch it, but I'm not really sure which fisher rod I should use. I'm just gonna use summer rod with deep coral, and that should be enough to catch it. Bro, look how massive this bar is. Actually, you know what, I think I'm gonna use shark head. Do I have shark heads? Yes, I do. Finally, we actually got it. And this control bar is just so massive. I'm gonna be honest, it might be impossible to fell a fish with this fishing rod. And if you guys remember, the summer rod does have a high weight capacity. So because it can handle so much weight, you can actually catch a big megalodon. And the big ones could potentially be 100,000 kilograms. So that's always good to see. Let's see which one we got, which version. So we did catch the normal one. It does weigh 61,000 kilograms. And yeah, that is cool and all, but let's go make some money. And now I'm in the depths with both fishy rods, and I'm gonna see how much money I can make with each of them. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on my other account and fish for a while, and once I come back I should be able to tell you guys how much money I was making on average with both fishy rods in the depths. And the obvious bait I'm gonna be using is fish head, because both mythical fishes in the depths do prefer fish head. Okay, so I'm back, and after using both fishy rods, I'm gonna be honest, the summer rod is pretty terrible. Like, even though it has a massive control bar, to shake the fishy rod it takes forever, and to make things even worse, I have hasty on it. So I could only imagine if you don't have hasty on it, it would take you even longer. And even though it takes longer to fish with this fishy rod, we did make some decent money. So on average, while using the summit rod, I was making $132,000 an hour. And to be honest, I was hoping I would make closer to $200,000 an hour, because you have to remember this fishy rod does cost $300,000. And if you compare this fishy rod with the sunken fishy rod or the China fishy rod, it is inferior. And I do not think it deserves to be called an endgame rod, because it is nowhere close to the other ones. And next we have the ice warper's rod, and as you can see, we do get instant catch. And just like that, this fishy rod is already way better than the summit rod. And on average, while I use this fishy rod, I was making $160,000 an hour. So it is way cheaper than the summit rod, but makes way more money. And to be honest, if you put abyssal on both of them, this fishy rod would gap the summit rod even more. It would not surprise me if you could make $250,000 an hour using abyssal on this fishing rod. So yeah, in the end, the summit rod is a really bad fishing rod, but maybe I could think of some good uses for it. But in the meantime, if you're gonna pick one fishy rod, it has to be the ice whipper's rod. But yeah, that is all I got for today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.